everyone, this is Nick from Lord of the Lost from Germany, and you are watching ROCKTAMBULOS.
Never forget to let go. There's something no need to know. Whether above or below, we are all from the same blood.
Hola, bienvenidos a otra entrevista de ROCKTAMBULOS. Esta vez estamos con uno de los miembros de Lord of the Lost. La banda del momento, quizás, puede ser. Me refiero al baterista Niklas Kahl. Espero haberlo pronunciado bien. How are you, Niklas?
Hi, I'm fine, thanks. Thanks for having me here.
Well, actually, it's good to have you here. You know, because, like I said in the introduction, but in Spanish, you are like the band of the moment. I don't know if you feel the same.
Well, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, you know, I was.
It's super stressful at the moment. We have so many interviews and dates and everything for television and print magazines and online stuff and so on. At the moment it's like we're not thinking too far in the future. If you're going to bed in the evening, you're only looking into your calendar, what's going on tomorrow, because everything else just doesn't matter.
And in that sense, what I was thinking is that what is happening that is so stressful? I know, but please talk to the.
Well, we were chosen. We have the big honor to represent Germany at the Eurovision Song Contest this year. And that's, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, the medal is back in Eurovision or rock or whatever. I know how you prefer to say it, but I don't know, how does it feel? I know even how you how are you mentally prepared for that, because the audience is not expecting heavy metal.
Yeah, but you can't prepare yourself. It's just not possible. I mean, when we got into the preliminary shows, it was the very first time for us to do anything in TV. We never did TV before. And so this was quite something new for us. But I mean, playing in front of thousands of people or whatever, we have done that a few times, of course, when we were on tour with Iron Maiden or on big festivals and so on. So that's not too new to us. But of course, all this Eurovision stuff is it's a whole new world for us. And that's pretty exciting.
And it can be a turning point.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
So, you know, I don't want to compare, but some bands come to mind, like Ghost, that, for example, it was totally from niche, you know, and then it became huge. So maybe this will happen with Lord of the Lost.
Yeah, might be. We'll see. We don't know yet.
And something that, well, was quite amazing is that you guys toured with Iron Maiden. What I want to know about that is, how is touring with Iron Maiden?
It's incredibly awesome. Well, I've been on tour with so many different bands, also before Lord of the Lost. And we were on tour with big bands. I had a metal band, and we were supporting the Scorpions, for example, and some other big stuff here in Germany. But wherever I've been playing a show or being on an event, festival, concert, whatever, I've never met anyone as great and kind as everyone in the whole family of Iron Maiden. No matter if the band or the crew, they're all incredibly awesome. That's really, it's something I will carry forever in my heart, definitely. And that's something I want to try to keep this for myself, for all my life, to be that kind to everyone else, no matter who you are or whatever. It started, for example, when we came to very first show. We went up the stage. We were allowed to set up our stuff. We went to the stage manager, and we were like, hello, it's us, the little losties. Who is everything okay? You got our documents. You know what we are bringing. Is it okay, or do we have to keep our stuff small and together? And he was like, guys, you're not a support act, you're the special guest, and you have a production to do, and we are here to do everything for you that you can have your production. And that was something that I've never experienced before on any stage. And yeah, this kind of mood we had all the way on tour with Iron Maiden.
You know, it's like the song Limelight about, yes, I guess it was Limelight of Rush, that you become in some, when you're in this business, some sort of alienation about the real
Yeah.
world. And you said that with Iron Maiden, that didn't happen. And that was a lesson for you.
Yeah.
In what anecdote, in what personal gesture you felt that?
How do you mean exactly? Because I mean, it's
Maybe, you know, like even give you a sandwich, you know, something like that. So, something so humble that you will expect from someone like Bruce Dickinson, for example, when that
Yeah.
you see only in posters or in images, and you have it in front of you all of a sudden.
Yeah. We had not exactly that situation, but similar. And I mean, it feels like there's no hierarchy. You know what I mean? So it seems to be that everyone, of course, everyone knows his role in this whole production and everything, but everything is treating everyone as a human, because everyone knows we're all here together and we are all here together to have a great time. And that's just something that I would wish for every human on the fucking planet. You know, it's just be kind to each other, and then everyone will have a good time. And you know, there's this sentence: "Never meet your idols, because you might be very disappointed." If you're gonna meet Iron Maiden, you definitely will not be disappointed.
Those are great news for all of the heavy metal family. I don't want to say heavy metal family because it sounds like James Hetfield, but anyway, but any fan of heavy metal. You know what? I recently saw the, let's say, the massive, the huge amount of memes and, you know, gags and all of that about you guys meeting the King Charles. How was that bizarre experience, and how do you react when you see this jokes in the internet?
Well, I didn't see that many jokes up to now, to be honest. But meeting King Charles was it was awesome. He's a super nice guy. I mean, he was on a visit here in Germany for 3 days and did all the super important leader stuff that those guys have to do, meeting super important people and so on. And we were the very, very last point on his program before he went into the limousine to be driven to the airport and flying back to England. And I don't want to know how many hands this guy must have been shook before, but he went along us and he shook every hand, and we were talking. It was just small talk, but it was not this it was not meaningless or something. He really gave you the feel this guy is interested in what you are and who you are. And he was looking at me and he was, oh, you're nice in a nice dress here, nice clothes. Where do you get that from? And I was like, we have a designer in South Germany who's doing this for us. Oh, really? That looks really nice, and it fits so good to the Eurovision and everything. And it was just like, oh, what am I talking about with the king? You know, it was just great.
Yeah, you know, I mean, talking with the king about that. So
Yeah.
what I was trying to search, it was like all of these memes, but they were mainly on TikTok. So I, you know,
All right.
it was like when you are, you know, invited in the wrong party or something like that. So
Oh yeah. Well,
and
possibly he might have felt that, but I'm not sure because we didn't know how we got there, why we were chosen to be meeting the king, and in the end it was that we were invited by British Embassy, and they told us that there was a wish from the king. So yeah, that's kind of strange, but super great.
so we have to think that he listens to Lord of the Lost.
No, I don't think so. But I think he's pretty much not pretty much, but I think he's a bit in the Eurovision stuff because we have a TV show here in Germany. It's called Let's Dance, and it's a TV show where some celebrities who normally don't dance or whatever are going to have some competition in dancing stuff and so on. And there is in the jury, there is one girl. Her name is Mozi Mabuse, and she's in the German version of this TV show. And there's also an English version in Great Britain, and she's also there in the jury. And when she's living in Germany, and when King Charles and Camilla were here in Germany, they had a big dinner in Berlin, and they wanted to have this girl from the jury at their dinner. It was an explicit wish of them because they are so great fans of this TV show. So possibly, who knows? I mean, the Eurovision is this time in Liverpool, Great Britain. So possibly the King and Camilla are watching this stuff, and when they were here, yeah, maybe they just wanted to meet the representative of Germany. I don't know.
Well, those are bizarre facts that are always, you know, like treasures. But something that it's quite bizarre is that, well, maybe for me because I see the charts nowadays and I can believe it. But in Germany, you were number one. So, I mean, why do you think that happened?
I don't know. I have no clue. Blood and Glitter went on number one without doing any promotion. Normally, you have this 3 months of promo stuff and so on, and releasing a single and a second single and maybe a third one and some videos. And we didn't want this time because all the Blood and Glitter album is based on Blood and Glitter, which is a book from Mick Rock, from this guy who has been a big photographer who took back in the 70s and 80s all the super famous photos of artists like Queen and David Bowie and so on. And we took this as a big inspiration and took this as a kind of concept. That's also why, I mean, it was a great time of glam and everything. That's why we now have this glam theme on stage and everything. And do you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah, my headphones just broke down, but I can hear you, and if you can hear me, that's good. So back then, you also did not have all this great promotion stuff and releasing singles and everything. So in the end, when the album is going to be released, everyone knows already half of the album. That's super shitty. And back then it was like, hey, there's coming a new album, and you only could hear it if you went to a store and bought it. And so we did not want to spoil anything. We just wanted to have a surprise. And so we announced on Christmas Eve that we are going to release an album just 1 week later, on December 30th. So we only had almost 1 week of pre-sale and everything. And somehow this worked out. I don't know.
Yeah, that is like going in the total opposite direction of everything that's happening now, and it
Yeah,
worked.
yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a great sign to all the people out there, and especially to all the label companies and so on, that it just not have to be always this, yeah, this super huge promotion machinery and everything.
You know, you know what? And in closing this interview, because I know you have a hectic schedule, but it's kind of hard to ask this because, as you said before, the band is like always moving. But what's next for a lot of the Lost if you're going to be in Eurovision? What I mean, how is the planning now?
Well, the fun thing is that I mean, Germany was always pretty bad in the past years in Eurovision. We got always be the last ones, and so the drop is pretty low. If we're gonna lose this thing, yeah, we're just one more in the row. If we're gonna win the thing, I don't know what's happening then. I just hope we're somewhere in the middle in the end, maybe. But whatever happens, we don't care about, because we're coming back home on May 14th, I think, which will be pretty funny because it's my birthday. So I'm partying into my birthday at the Eurovision, and we are coming on back on the 14th, and then we have just I think 10 days until we are starting the festival season, and we have shitloads of festivals in this year. We also have the Iron Maiden tour again in Great Britain with them this time, and we are having a couple of headliner shows in between. So I think I don't know exactly, but we're still playing more than 50 shows this year. So whatever happens at Eurovision,
Yes.
we're super busy anyway. So
Oh man, what can happen? You know, I only have to say congratulations, guys. And you know,
thank you.
and the last question, and this is always like a request. Uh, what are you listening now in Spotify? What's in your Spotify?
Well, in my Spotify, there's just nothing because I don't use Spotify. Um, the past few days, I listened to our own songs because I'm just preparing, of course, for the next few days in Mexico and South America. And well, normally I'm super diverse in music, so I listen a lot to German folk stuff, but also to heavy metal and everything. And well, my standard answer for this is always Nightwish, because I'm a big Nightwish fan, and that's the only super constant music that's always in my playlist somewhere.
Thank you very much for the time, Niklas. Bueno, esta fue otra emisión de Entrevistas Roctámbulos. Soy Facundo Guadagnino y nos encontramos en otra emisión.